It's the Game Out Loud podcast coming to you with Rob, Jordan, and Dylan, and sometimes Colin too. It's everything about games you want to know. Thanks for listening to the show. It's the Game Out Loud podcast. Yeah, the Game Out Loud podcast.
Hello and welcome to the 158th episode of the Game Out Loud podcast, the one and only podcast for bagofgames.com. I'm your host for the week, Rob Peterson, and joining me, as always, is my good friend, the delightful Dylan Smith.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Oh, doing all right. Cracked a few ribs, but, that's what happens when you go barreling down the mountain on a bicycle.
Yeah, that's what we want to tell people you were doing.
Yeah, Jordan. That is what we want to tell people I was doing, because that is what I was doing.
You hurt yourself laying in bed.
Just because you don't do anything exciting and dangerous doesn't mean the rest of us aren't out there hang gliding and
Parasailing. Jumping out of a moving object like a plane and or like a cargo ship.
Para-bungee sailing.
Yeah. Jump bungeeing.
Bungie, that's a game developer.
Yeah, a bad one.
Yeah. I think a lot of people disagree. I think Activision probably got their claws into that stuff.
I don't know. I just know every time I turn around, there's new bad news about Bungie. But yes, as we mentioned before, you can hear there, Jordan Rusnak, our third and final host.
Rob, that's what we call the dog. Oh, wait, sorry, that was Indiana. That's what we call the dog. Junior.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's up, everybody?
Just keeping it relevant.
Are you ready for some good old-fashioned pun time? You're mine for like 2 whole hours. 2 hours of pun time.
You know, Jordan, really, you're free to embarrass yourself however you would like.
But it's what I take out of it is from you, though, Rob. And our listeners, who clearly want the puns. They have voted to save the puns on regular bases. Bases?
Bases?
Buseys. Gary's. They voted on Gary's.
Yeah.
And Dylan, I just want to point it out there. I can see when you log into video games.
What?
You just logged into Clicker Heroes.
Yeah, no, it started and I immediately closed it. I was like, oh no! Like I was trying to click around the window on Steam and I clicked play at the top in the middle. I was like, no! So I closed it immediately.
That's fine.
Right.
It's like, what is Dylan doing? It's podcast time. Clicker Heroes, yeah!
Well, what else have you been playing this week, Dylan, besides Clicker Heroes on the show?
Let's see. I've put in some time into a game I have not most recently purchased, but very recently. It is actually the most recent purchase of mine, at the behest of Jordan and the aforementioned coverage we've had on it. Party Hard.
Yes, so good.
Yeah.
Dylan is talking to me and he's like, hey, Party Hard released. I was like, yeah, like the Tuesday we released that episode. He's like, oh, well, I just bought it.
I was like, yeah, I just bought it. Yeah. I'm having a lot of fun. It's not as, I don't know. I thought it was just at one level over and over and over and over again, but apparently there's like a whole bunch of different locations and there's various characters you can eventually unlock, and it's really interesting. You
got past farther than I did, man. Like that's pretty impressive. That really sounds like I'm tooting my own horn.
That's
you got farther than I did.
Better than even I did.
Yeah, it's impressive how good you are at that game. Like,
so are you saying I'm like a sociopath in the making or something?
No, are you? If you are, tell us now.
Okay.
Was that a vape hit or was that a breathe in?
I think it was a shush.
Oh, I thought it was like, it's okay.
Together.
But yeah, watching you play that was a lot of fun. Just kind of sat back, watched you stream it, and man, how did you ever beat that level where you basically turned everybody into zombies? Did you actually use that? Because you found a mechanic that I never found, and that's phoning a friend, basically.
Yeah, so you find one of the phones that are on the level that you were playing on, and you have the option on PC of hitting space, because I don't know what other platforms it'll be released for. I'm assuming just PC, but just to clarify. And hit spacebar near the cell phone, the telephone, and it calls a random something to happen. And in this specific level, the only thing that happens when you make a call is zombies appear. And then they start, turning everybody else into zombies. Now, the benefit of that is you can just pretty much stab anybody around a zombie, and the zombie's not going to say anything. The downside is, once everybody else is eliminated as an option of becoming a zombie, they all go after you. And it's not that easy to get away from a zombie horde when the entire map is covered in zombies. So I eventually elected to forego the zombie apocalypse.
Nice. That was crazy. You're like running around. There's literally like a sea of zombies behind you. Like every character, I think, almost in the level turned into a zombie.
It sounds like lots of like fun emergent stuff kind of comes out of this game.
Yeah, like he had some stuff happen that even I hadn't happened. God, I sound like an ass that I didn't even have happen. You basically figured out how to blame deaths on other people.
Yes.
That was great.
Like the cops would show up and arrest someone else. It was pretty fun, but there are other times where I did not always pay attention to my surroundings. Since it is such a low resolution game in terms of like, I don't know, 8-bit graphics, I think. Maybe 16. That it does make it kind of hard for proper depth perception sometimes. There are certain objects that you can walk through, others you can't. So your toe can get stuck on something and you kind of like, why am I not moving? Oh, that one pixel is touching the other pixel. Psst. So if you're trying to evade the police or flee from a scene where you have just stabbed somebody, it can be quite detrimental to that whole process of fleeing. But all in all, it's not a major like game breaking problem by any means, and it's a lot of fun. The game in and of itself. So altogether, I will definitely. I've already got 2 hours into it, and I'm probably going to try to play it some more tomorrow, if not later tonight.
It has a high user score on Metacritic. The critical score is only 69, but it's got a 7.8 user, and it's got like a 9 on the Steam reviews. So people are definitely digging it. I picked it up, but I barely played it just because the bad timing with Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, that seems to have been taking up a lot of my time as well, Metal Gear Solid. So I've tried to make sure that I don't get too terribly burned out on it. But as I was talking to a person who was a guest on the show previously, Dave, the game is just constantly growing on me, and I think I'm at the point where I have about 21 hours into it now.
Now, did Lambert talk to you at all? Did he decide to bite the bullet and pick it up?
I actually picked it up for him, and he's actually farther than any of us.
Okay, so I take it he's either playing it or he digs it.
He super digs it. He's having a lot of fun.
Good.
So
good, because I know he was worried about it.
He's probably got more time. I know he's got more time than I have, and I've got 21 hours into it. I don't know how much hours either you two have gotten into it, but I've come home from work and immediately started it up.
Yeah, I think I'm pushing 30 at this point.
Oh. Now, do you do a lot of sneaking, or are you just all out action, just kill everybody, go, go, go?
I almost exclusively sneak. I've had a couple missions go tits up where there was one big mission on a big base with the very minor spoiler alert with the Walker Lake guys, and I had that go south after an hour in twice. And I was like, I'm 3 hours into this mission now. Fuck this. So I called in some airstrikes and basically wiped out. Yeah, I did. I leveled the base and then waltzed in. There was nothing alive. But that's the only time I've done that.
So how do those strikes work? Are they pretty effective? Are they pretty good? Or are they kind of an annoyance?
They are very effective. The only downside is you need to, you can't call them on a patrolling enemy because they'll walk out of range because it takes a good 30 seconds to a minute for those strikes to show up. But if you have someone who's like guarding a building, you can wipe them out. Or if you just if there's a building you need to get into and you need an obstruction, you can call in a smoke strike too. And it'll fill it up with smoke and lower everyone's visibility.
Cool.
And you can call in the helicopter to shoot dudes. So when I took out that base, I did all three. I was causing smoke attacks. Yeah, picking guys off with my sniper rifle, blasting them with airstrikes, and then I had the helicopter flying around, taking out stragglers. So that was pretty wild.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't called any strikes in yet, because it says it limits the maximum grade of the mission to A or lower.
Oh, have you been getting S ranks? I've only gotten 1 or 2 so far.
I've gotten a couple. I've got mostly Bs, so that's one of the things that's kind of been causing me to lean towards beginning to use them because I never get too many S's anyway. But at the same time, I've gotten a pretty good hang of the game, so I'm trying to make sure that I can leave open that opportunity for me to actually get an S if and when I can get it. There have been a couple of missions where I didn't think I did too well where I got an S. I was like, well, all right, cool, And others that I thought went well that didn't. But all in all, like, the rating of the mission being neither here nor there, it's just a great game that I'm having. Excuse me, I'm having a ton of fun with.
Now, since you're digging it, does it make you want to go back and check out any of the older games at all?
Not yet. Like I said previously, I've watched Lambert play a lot of them, and so that's kind of been my, I don't want to say measuring tape, that's just kind of been my experience vicariously through Mr. Lambert. So
right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not going to put it down. I'm hopefully dear listener, you don't get too upset with us talking about it, because I'm pretty sure we will be for a while, because I'm going to be playing a lot of it.
We'll do a full spoiler section probably when you, me, and Colin have beaten it, because let's face it, Jordan, who is he stepped away for a second, so we can say this. Jordan probably not going to beat it.
Sorry, wife is like yelling out in the background. I was like, "What are you doing?"
No,
Sorry.
no, that's right. You just missed. We were joking about how when we do the spoiler cast for Metal Gear Solid 5, it'll be Dylan, Colin, and me, because there's no way you're going to beat it.
Why not? I'm farther than you are.
No, you're not.
I am too.
Oh, no?
Well, at least as far as that little percentage thing at the bottom says, I am.
What percent are you at?
16.
That's weird. You just got to Africa.
You just got to Africa.
No, I didn't.
Your face just got to Africa.
I think that's like that's not just story progression. That's like progression in like a lot of different things. So
Yeah,
right.
I think that includes
How built up
science
your
level,
base
your
is.
development, your base. Yeah,
Gotcha.
because my base has some levels, yo. Like,
yeah, it does. Like, that's why you have now gotten ahead of me with that last push you just made.
yeah, man. Like, I am loving that game so much. Like, I had to tear myself away from that to play like Chivalry and
I thought you were going to say, I had to tear myself a new asshole.
no, I don't know why you would think that.
I don't know.
I had to turn myself away from Metal Gear Solid to play anything else, like Chivalry or Dirty Bomb. Like, I was having so much fun with Metal Gear that I'm just like, no, I just want to play Metal Gear. Can I just sneak around to Metal Gear? Like, I've got a lot of stuff like leveled up to level 2 or 3, and it's just awesome and fantastic, and I love it, and I just don't want to stop playing. But then I have to do things like eat, sleep, and shit.
And not necessarily in that order.
No.
Well, I usually eat, then I sleep, and then while I sleep, I shit. So yeah, actually, in that order. My wife really hates sleeping with me.
Yeah, I would too.
I don't. I still love you.
Sleep, shits, and all.
You're like the guard
So
for
that's
Metal Gear
right.
Solid. Always
How's that?
shits pants.
Oh, has that happened?
Yeah, in several of the games.
Oh, you're talking about that one specific character.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
he's in the Phantom Pain too, or at least someone with the same problem is.
A facsimile thereof.
Yeah, I bumped into him in one of the early missions. That first mission with when you're in the cliffside like caves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's there.
Do you use the Ride SMG much, Rob?
No, I haven't used it at all. I hear people talking about it, but I basically use the same loadout every single time, with the exception of times where I need to take out a tank or something. Stun gun darts and just the base silenced SMG.
I use that base silence SMG, but then I also run with the Riot SMG, which that thing is fantastic because even if you mess up, then you can go like full auto on a guy and still stun him instead of killing him. So you can like I have like what did I say, like 322 guys at my base? Is that what I said? I don't remember. You asked me when
I don't
playing.
remember. It was 300 something though. It was a pretty high number.
Some large
Yeah.
amount.
Yeah, because I literally will go through bases.
Fulton's everyone.
Yeah, I've become a little less picky about it, but then I realized that because I take most of the guys out, either like I want to make them gone, and it's not really to get them; it's to get them off of the map. So I literally, I just go through and Fulton everybody, and then a base is mine, and then I just go through and take all the resources and do all that fun stuff. And I just now got the ability to Fulton the tank. And like is that the top Fulton ability there, Rob?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe so.
And you can Fulton like full on vehicles with people in them, correct?
Yes. I have seen it done.
I'm gonna go do mission 10 again, and I'm just going to run up there and Fulton the Jeep.
Which one's mission 10?
Broken Angel, Fallen
Angel.
Arrow, or something like that. It's the one where you have to go to the
Angel with
palace.
no wings.
Yeah,
Something about not flying.
yeah, and you have to like extract the prisoners, and that's where you get your first chance to get a
Transportation specialist.
transportation specialist. So I just went through and did that again, but they want me to Fulton the actual device. By the way, Rob, how did you beat Quiet?
Not the stupid cheater way.
That I did, and then learned a lot of people do.
That's pretty awesome, though.
Yeah, I was like, well, I wonder if because I've knocked a guy out with it before. I wonder if it'd work on her. Sure enough, you can drop supply drops on her, and you get her. Like, it is great. $6,000 and 2 boxes later, and she's your prisoner.
I hear, though, that you have to distract her when you do it. Otherwise, she just moves out of the way.
Oh, all I did was drop it on her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Then she
No,
moved, and then I dropped it on her again.
Yeah, I sniped her the old-fashioned way, just like Sniper Wolf and Metal Gear Solid 1. And it was a fun battle, too. I had a lot of fun on that level.
I didn't know that was going to happen. I was just going after the blueprint, and all of a sudden it's just like, hey, this is happening. And I'm like, well, I don't even have anything for that. So I was like, what am I going to do? And she kept shooting me, and I'm like, maybe I'll try this. And sure enough, it worked.
I think that you can find her at any point. Like, there's one mission that drives straight through her area, and I could have this wrong, but I'm pretty sure I heard that at any point in the game, if you stumble into her place, it'll trigger the cutscene.
Oh, really?
Fight her, yeah.
Oh, sweet. All I know is that my night vision's up to like level 3, and I love it because I'm always doing stuff at night. But man, so I've been doing those missions to try to disrupt like the flow of certain things in an area to lower like body armor and head armor, helmets. That's what those are called. And it does not seem to work at all, or like take away people's night vision. They still have all that stuff. I thought that was supposed to actually affect that.
Some of the story missions, I think they're hard coded in.
Gotcha.
But it should affect the side quests.
Huh.
So
Dylan, go ahead.
Have you been doing any of this stuff, Dylan, with like the sending your guys out on side ops to kind of help clean up the areas and stuff for equipment?
Yep. I have sent them, the most recent ones actually I did, were sending them out to get rid of the helmets. Something else. I can't remember what it was.
Night vision, armor, handguns, shotguns, machine guns.
Something. I don't remember. But it was 2 of them. It was the helmets and something else. I'm getting tired of those daggone helmets, man.
Right? You get a headshot, just ting!
Yeah, and they're like, what? And you're like, ah!
Then you have to actually shoot them in the face.
I've actually gotten pretty good at that, too.
Like, you alert them, they're like, huh? Ah! And just fall over.
Yep.
It is so great. I love that game so much. There's so many great mechanics going on in that game. I actually took a page out of Dylan's book. I laid some C4 on one side of the area, and then circled around to where I actually needed to be, lit the C4 off, and then everyone went that way. I went and grabbed the prisoner and extracted them out, no problem.
Oh, man, I know what I'm doing.
Sometimes you know, sir. I will give you that.
The flexibility of this game is nigh infinite. Like, it is astounding how many different ways you can complete each task. It goes beyond even like Deus Ex.
Yeah, I love it very, very much. And Deus Ex, you kind of change your core abilities, right? And Metal Gear Solid, it seems like they actually give you the tools even at the beginning to play multiple ways.
Yeah.
Which I really, really appreciate, because I'm getting better and better at those things. Like, oh, I just finished off the last of my suppressors. Do I want to spend another $5,000 to have a supply drop? Because those seem to be getting more expensive.
Yeah, you have the higher your gear gets, the more expensive they get.
Gotcha. So that's what it is. So now I'm learning how to like run up on guys and like hip throw them for more effect. What is the best way and longest way to have somebody be knocked out?
Dart.
Either the dart. It's either the dart or the when you choke them out after you interrogate them or when you grab them. Actually, throwing them is actually shorter than either of the other two.
If you throw them directly against a wall.
I was gonna say the only kicker is if you do it against the wall, it's good. But if you slam them into the ground or whatever, it doesn't really last as long for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm throwing somebody, I'm Fultoning them almost immediately afterwards.
I generally try to plan my approach so that I can pick them off, drag them out, and send them up one at a time so I don't leave bodies floating. You can't always do that, but I find that you usually can if you time it right.
No, they're starting to notice my balloons, which apparently they start shooting them down.
Yeah, you got to drag them out a little ways. Or conversely, you can use the dog or something else to distract them. Like there are ways to make them look away from you. That's also really handy.
How do you control the dog to have him do anything other than kill somebody?
You eventually get them. I just unlock the ability to have him bark.
Yeah, same here. Is that just by using him?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
I don't really understand that system either.
Your bondage system?
Yeah, I mean, as I've done missions with the horse is leveled up pretty high. Those little at the end of a mission, like a main storyline mission, you have that screen that gives you your score, and then the bottom left it shows you a certain number of emblems it has.
Can your horse poop on command yet?
Yes.
Mine can't.
Mike just goes. Snake just goes, do it, and then the tail lifts and out it comes.
Man, I haven't even used the horse in 10 hours. As soon as I unlocked that dog, the horse was gone.
Yep, yeah, I haven't used the horse since either.
Diamond Dog is nice. I hear once you get quiet, it's kind of broken once you level her up and she can trank everybody, which I look forward to because then I don't have to trank everybody. But
right?
Suppressors are expensive for me because I basically buy the everything sent to me thing like Fulton and ammo, and it's
Supply drop.
Yeah, just for suppressors sometimes it's that's a $5,000 suppressor.
Well, you get money back for stuff that you're full on. Now you don't get full amounts back, but you do get some money back.
Oh, really? Is that why it pops up with that? The more you know.
Indeed.
All right,
If you paid attention, you would know this.
Junior.
Dylan, I hope you haven't played anything else, have you?
I have.
Oh, you
but
have?
I can skip. Yeah.
The field. He's been playing the field.
Well, Jordan kind of edged his
Inserted
way in
himself
here.
in the middle of what I've been playing. Yeah, he kind of does that.
Well, what else have you been playing? We'll just say that was the Metal Gear topic for all of us because I know we've all been playing that.
All right, cool. I also bought Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition, and I finally got it to work.
Is this your first Fallout 3?
No, this is.
Okay.
I actually turns out I have already played this. I remember it.
I tried to tell him that, but he wouldn't listen to me.
Shut up.
Something about me not being his mom or something like that.
You haven't really played it.
Shut
because
up, Mom.
When you played it before, you played it on console, and now you have mods.
I haven't really gotten into modding yet.
Oh.
I know it's fun, but it's a lot. I haven't gotten there yet. No.
So, how is vanilla Fallout 3 on the PC, aside from much better looking?
It's the same. I remember it. I mean, I've been playing Vegas too, Vegas as well. So
I prefer that one.
Yeah, Vegas is better, I think. But
I like the glitches in Vegas.
I don't. That's the only thing I didn't like about Vegas was when I got 34 hours in and had a major quest break at launch.
That sucks.
So to this day, I have not beaten Fallout New Vegas, even though I've poured time into it. I'll go back and do that one of these days. And
I got to the end of the game on the PS4, then I went to prison.
That's not how that game ends.
that's an M. Night Shyamalan ending right there.
Yeah, it was intense. I was waiting for him to pop out and be like one of the guards at the prison, but he never showed. So.
So you're digging him though?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely taking up a little bit more time. I've got over an hour and a half into Fallout 3, 5 hours into Vegas. But one thing I did play today, at the behest of Jordan as usual. He goes, "Hey, by the way, you guys should go on to." I mean, Dave Calloway was in the phone call with us, and he's like, "Hey, by the way, you should go to the Steam store and go buy Chivalry Medieval Warfare. It's only $4.99 right now." I was like, "Wow, the $25 game for $5? Okay,
Welcome
why
to
not?"
Steam.
So I went and bought it, and we played a couple rounds, and it is suffice to say, I am glad I have not born in the medieval times, where I would have got my ass handed to me quite quickly.
Yeah.
You were doing okay, man. It takes some time to get used to how the game works.
You should try playing with Marco Kari.
No, you don't want to do that. He'll just destroy you.
That's his jam. Or it used to be. Who knows? He's still playing it, but
I don't think Marco plays games anymore. He plays the I'm a child rearing game.
I am a child rearing game.
Yeah, it's like the country version. I'm a child rearing game. Well, I'm saying dang-a-lang. I don't know where I'm going with this. It just happened. I apologize.
Sit in the corner.
Oh, do I have to wear the cap?
Not yet.
Okay.
I've got like an hour into it, so it's fun. But,
You have it, right, Rob?
Yeah, but I'm not going to play it.
Why not?
Just telling you right now, I'm not playing that game ever again.
Ain't happening.
Oh.
If you guys want to jam on some multiplayer, though, I'm seriously digging Killing Floor 2. I think they nailed it.
Yeah, I'd be happy to play that with you after the podcast. Heck, we can take one out of Dylan's book and play it during the podcast.
No, I would never do that.
As you launch it. That's awesome. That's great.
It's funny. So yeah, that's pretty much been where I'm at with what I've been playing.
Sweet. Well, onward to you, Mr. Rusnak. Aside from Metal Gear Solid, what's been taking up your time?
Chivalry. What else have I been
Are you
playing?
in the corner already? If you're not, go there.
But the corner is so far away and my headset doesn't reach.
Well, you should have thought about that before you acted like a dunce, Jordan.
All right, so what I've been playing is video games, and I like it quite a bit. That Metal Gear game. So we played more Dirty Bomb. Had a good time playing that until Dylan was like, "Man, fuck this game. I'm not gonna play this game no more because these guys are winning." And I was like, fine. If you're gonna do that, then we'll go play Chevron or Chivalry. Sorry,
Chevron.
we're gonna go play the gas pumping game.
Yeah, that's a shitty game in Oregon, not Washington. Oregon.
Yeah, you play that game in Oregon, you get fined.
So
Yeah.
what are gas prices for you guys right now?
Over here, I think it's like $2.50 a gallon.
It's $2.09 a gallon right now out here.
Oh yeah, we're in like the 260s here.
$2.09.
Wow,
It's beautiful.
that's crazy.
Okay.
It was $1.80 when I first went to college. The in Denver, Colorado, when I showed up for my first day of school, gas was $1.80. How crazy is that?
It is $3.17 in California. Washington, they say it's $2.80. That's not accurate. Or maybe that's the mean or the average. Looks like the lowest price is South Carolina at $1.93.
Wow, they're below $2.
Right?
Wow.
But you have to live in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I say, but the kicker is.
Looking for more gas prices data? Nope, I'm not. I just wanted that.
So besides Chevron, what you been playing, Jordan?
So there's this great game. You guys should go look it up. This is what I play when I'm just like listening to a podcast or whatever. If you do a search, I saw that one launch too, Dylan.
No, I'm trying to click on the little scrolly bar.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and the play button's right next to the scrolly bar.
You have a mouse wheel.
No, because this thing just free scrolls.
You click the button behind your mouse.
No, I know. I discovered that yesterday.
And okay, fine. If you guys are all going to join games, yeah, take that. I'm playing Killing Room Floor. Not really. Close that.
You're playing what?
Killing Floor 2. Damn it.
Killing Room Floor. It's a game about a disgruntled movie editor.
Oh no. Okay, so I don't know what the hell happened. I actually closed the game, but it is still giving me the audio for the game.
Yeah, I should have warned you. It did that to me too.
There we go. I got it gone. So yeah, if you go and search for Gunblood on Google, it's made by Office Game Files. It's a little flash game that is a lot of fun. I think I've talked about it previously, but the idea is that you are a gunslinger. It's played by putting your mouse on the cylinder of the revolver in the bottom below your character, and then a countdown timer goes up, and then you have to move your mouse and then shoot, like click to shoot. So wherever your mouse is, your character is going to shoot, and you're trying to kill the other opponent before they can kill you. I think I've showed you this, haven't I, Dylan?
Sorry, I was muted. No, you have not. I have not seen this yet.
Oh, so yeah, I'll put a link in the show notes, but this is the actual the game if you want to take a look at it, because it is fun. It's like my I'm relaxing game, and it gets really hard as you go along. They have certain like skill things you have to do, and like little tips and tricks that you can take to do better. Oh yeah, that game's great. Give it a try. Gunblood Western Shootout. It's a great little game. So give that a try. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I have been playing Metal Gear. That is my jam. Probably until the next game release, which, what's the next major thing that we're buying?
I don't remember. I'll have to go back and listen to that podcast.
Yeah. If someone had only done a recent episode where we covered all that stuff.
Yeah. I remember there was one more in September, though, so we'll get that figured out. But in the meantime, we'll jump over to me. I have played nothing. I played the Nurse Chest Full of Broken Ribs game, but I did pick up Star Wars Uprising for the old iOS devices.
Why didn't you buy it for the new ones?
Oh, it's for Android as well. It's a turn of phrase, Jordan.
Okay.
The old OL apostrophe.
The old.
The good old iOS and Android devices. Yeehaw. But yeah, I played just enough to know like it looks pretty cool. I've heard a lot of people whining about the freemium model of the game. I hope that doesn't piss me off too badly, because we're starting to get to the point where the media coming out's filling in the gap between Return of the Jedi and the new Star Wars movie. So that's an exciting time period. I want to see what's been going on. So this game's a part of that. And obviously I love KOTOR, and it's a role-playing game. So really hoping that scratches that itch for me, and I will report back with more info next week. In the meantime, it is time for Extra Points, the part of the show where we talk about the book, movie, TV show, or other piece of non-video game media that we were into this week. All right, so since we went to Dylan first last time, we're going to jump over to Jordan. Jordan hasn't read or watched anything, so Dylan, let's jump over to you.
Hello. I watched an old one out of the sheer allure that I haven't seen it in forever. And it was a pretty funny one. Bruce Almighty.
Oh.
Time to go home, anal-dwelling ass monkey.
That was hilarious, dude. I forgot all about that. Like, a majority of this movie, I just totally spaced. And so it was like watching it again for the first time. It was so funny. So funny. And
Yeah,
I
that's
just had a
kinda-
blast watching it.
That's like the last great Jim Carrey comedy.
What's he done since? I mean, does anybody know any
Kick-Ass?
recent movie he's done?
Nothing funny, though. I mean, he did Eternal Sunshine 12,
Spotless
13
Mind.
years ago. That's a good movie, but
Liar,
definitely
Liar,
not a
Truman
comedy.
Show, The Mask.
Those are all before.
Yeah, that's true, huh? Yeah, he really hasn't been doing much anything like that, has he?
Yeah, well, I guess he did Dumb and Dumber 2, which I hear bad things about. But so you'd say this one holds up, Dylan?
Yeah, I enjoyed thoroughly watching this movie, and it
Because that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
be the miracle, Jordan.
Yeah, I remember a few gags from that movie. Like, as soon as he becomes God, he gets a really nasty supercar.
Yes.
I remember in that part, right? Okay.
I just remember his first miracle is Jennifer Aniston's boobs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that was a pretty good one. I remember liking that movie. I should go back and check it out again. Evan Almighty, not as much.
Yeah, no, Steve Carell
Yeah.
wasn't so big of a fan.
Which is funny because Evan Almighty or Steve Carell was in Bruce Almighty,
He was.
and it turns out that Jim Carrey has been on The Office.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yep. In 2011, he was the Finger Lakes guy.
Huh. I have only seen The British Office.
Is it good? I never watched. I've only watched the American version, and I didn't really care for it.
He did Yes Man, by the way.
That was an okay movie.
Horton Hears a Who.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't catch that one. I did see his Grinch movie. It was not very good.
He was in Anchorman too? Huh. Weird. Jim Carrey. Love Liar Liar.
I love, The Mask was a good one, and Dumb and Dumber, to me. I can't beat that.
Although you have to say, his best performance, most believable performance, Batman Forever is Edward Nygma.
That was pretty fun, actually. That, I don't know. I don't hate Batman Forever. I think that movie's all right.
Riddle me this, riddle me that. Who's afraid of the big bad bat?
It's definitely not a classic of cinema, but it's definitely watchable.
Yeah, who directed that one?
It was Joel Schumacher, who also did Batman and Robin.
Yeah, he has a weird view of those.
Yeah, well, he was mining like the camp from the old TV series and just amping it up and making it more 90s, I guess.
90s camp?
Yeah, so anyway, I guess we will jump over to me. As I mentioned before, I've been very interested in this whole time period between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. So I picked up Star Wars Aftermath, the book that came out from Chuck Wendig, I believe his name is. And boy, did this cause a stir. Let me tell you something. This book was advertised as bridging the gap between movies, and people kind of expected, I think, for the book to be about Luke, Leia, and Han, like the old expanded universe books from the 90s were. And that is not what this is. This is a whole new adventures from a whole new crew, and it's much more about the state of the galaxy than it is about the state of our heroes. So that turned a lot of people off. He also has a very unique and, what's the best way to describe his writing style? Casual writing style, I would say. He's good. I think he's a good writer, but a lot of people feel like the way he writes doesn't fit with Star Wars. I got used to it pretty quickly, actually, and I'm actually really digging it now that I've kind of adjusted to it. But it's present tense. He uses like modern slang will work his way in there, and his grammar is structured not necessarily by the book, but more like for flow. So it reads kind of weird. So this book got majorly review bombed on Amazon, mostly due to those two things. There were also some people who were mad that it has like a gay character in it and stuff, just assholes. But most people were mad about those two things. And while I understand where they're coming from, I'm kind of liking this book, actually. Once I got used to what it is, and once I got used to the writing style, I'm finding that the new characters are pretty well fleshed out, even though there are a lot of them, and it'll take you a while to kind of keep track of who's who. There are little vignettes that are called interludes about every third or fourth chapter or so, where you just get 2 or 3 pages of just somewhere in the galaxy this is happening, just kind of showing you little bits and pieces of what's going on in various places and in various people's lives. And I don't know, like the main plot's pretty exciting. It can drag a little bit sometimes, especially when he brings on even more new characters, and now we have to learn who these people are. But I don't know, I feel like as a setup for a trilogy, which is what this is, it doesn't feel, it's not like Star Wars Episode 4, where it works as a standalone, but just purely as a setup for more to come. I'm kind of liking it. So I would say don't necessarily let the reviews scare you off of this one. I think it's worth checking out.
I'll just take a look at it. I enjoy those series quite a bit.
I think you could get into this one, Jordan. I really do. And also, since I know you love Star Wars and you have some of the comics and stuff, check out Lando. And Vader and Star Wars are really good too, but it seems like no one's reading Lando, and Lando is kick-ass. It's a limited 5-issue series. Issue 4 is going to come out in a week or two here, and really good and right up your alley, Jordan.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. So anyway, with that, we're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we get back, it'll be time for our topic. So stick around to find out what that's going to be. All mysterious this week.
Game Out Loud Podcast. Yeah, the Game Out Loud Podcast.
And we're back. So there's been some talk lately on the podcast of maybe making it so another one of our fine hosts picks up an Xbox One. So Dylan, you being that man, what's making you kind of lean that way this late in the game? Why are you now starting to kind of think Xbox One might be the console for you?
Now, Dylan, before you answer that question, I've come up with a very simple way for you to decide if you're going to do this, all right? So I want you to flip a coin, and heads, you get the Xbox.
Okay.
Tails,
you get the Xbox.
We both get an Xbox.
Oh, okay. One clarification, though.
Yeah.
Am I paying for both?
Yes, that's the way that goes.
Well, hey, oh my gosh, look, it's heads.
Yeah, by the way, it's opposite day. I get an Xbox!
Yeah, no.
I want one so bad. I hate you. Just for Crackdown, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I loved Crackdown back in the day.
Okay,
I mean, you get like Halo and Forza and stuff like that, but this is Dylan's show, so I'm going to steal it. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead, Dylan.
So while I was, and I'm going to step on a lot of toes, but here we go. So while I was incarcerated, we did have access to an Xbox 360. Now, it was heavily regulated. Only E-rated games, and you only were allowed to play an hour a day. Now, there was a lot of politics and, drama and things going on, less than desirable behavior associated with the monopolization of time, etc., so on and so forth. But long story short, one of the games that was donated to us was Forza. Now I don't remember which one, but you've heard me mention it a couple times in previous podcasts. I have had that was a game that I had the Jeep Grand Cherokee that was like turboed and everything and totally decked out that I could beat Lamborghinis and Ferraris off the line with, and I just loved it. Being able to have that kind of modification capabilities of post-market parts and being able to apply them and kind of tweak the settings in a very user-friendly yet still pertinent manner was indeed fun. I love racing games. I love them a lot. But, one like Jordan, you remember freaking The Crew.
Oh, yeah, you loved that game.
Yeah, that's why it's hasn't been I actually deleted it off my PlayStation 4, I think, 2 months after we got it.
Yeah, well, you got it. I mean, no one else played it.
Yeah, that's right. But anyway, there have been some miserable experiences lately with these racing games, but I loved Forza, and sadly, it is an Xbox exclusive. Now, now, Halo, yeah, sure, blah, blah, whatever. Gears of War, whatever, I've played them all. Whatever. Forza would be pretty much the one thing I would get it for. And there is a bundle coming out where you have an Xbox One with a 1 terabyte hard drive and a free download for Forza Motor 6. That I would be super, super interested in. And to be completely honest, I don't really know what's coming out for the Xbox 360. Xbox One, other than Forza Motorsport 6. That's really the only thing that has even put Xbox One on my radar in any way, shape, or form.
Well, Dylan, what else do you need?
Crackdown. You need Crackdown. I can help you with that. Crackdown.
Crackdown looks pretty damn good.
Yeah. Did you ever play Crackdown? That was like the best game. And then there's Quantum Break, which is probably never coming out. But still, that looked good.
No, I never played Crackdown.
Oh man, dude, that game is great.
I haven't either, but Crackdown 3 just looks bonkers. It looks really
that's
good.
Crackdown.
I've never played this series. I don't really know what it's about.
So you're a cop in this fictional city, and like to escalate against the gangs that basically run the town, you have to like up your gear, right, and up the ante. So you start with just a car. By the end of the game, you can like run and jump up buildings, drive a car with spikes up walls, like throw cars at enemies. It is like just one of the best open world games I played on the Xbox.
It sounds a little bit like Just Cause 2.
Kinda, but not as chaotic, or chaotic in a different way.
Okay.
I just remember really liking Crackdown 1. Crackdown 2 I didn't like as well, but if I had an Xbox, you can guarantee that I'd be getting Crackdown. And maybe I can live vicariously through Dylan.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know what the streaming I don't know really much of anything other than, and I'm going to step on some more toes here. I know that the PS4 does outperform the Xbox One as of right now.
Oh, yeah.
You take your facts elsewhere, Dylan.
Right.
But it's still, I mean, in and of itself, it is still a good console. I mean,
it's a great console. I don't play mine very much. Most of the exclusive stuff for it still hasn't come out yet, and like the new Halo game is going to be a big plus for it, at least as far as butt time in my living room is concerned. But every time I turn it on and start playing with it, I'm like, yeah, this is a really fantastic console. And if you're one of those people who goes on Digital Foundry and gets really upset about 200 fewer horizontal pixels in the resolution or whatever,
Nerve rage.
Get a PC.
But now you have to remember that the Xbox has to have that Kinect. It's integral to how it works, and there's no way they could ever have it without it. And it's going to have online DRM that you have to check in with.
Hold on. There's been a sudden change in management. None of that's true.
Right? I love the fact that they put all that stuff out on that E3, and then within like 6 months they're like, "Oh no, we were kidding. Ha 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 ha. We fired that guy for saying that we have a new console for you. It's called the 360. Come back, buy our stuff."
No, they didn't fire him. He quit and went over to Zynga. And
I'm sure that's what they let him think.
I think he's since been fired from Zynga, if I remember correctly. I don't remember that guy's name anymore.
Yeah, we got a console for you. It's called a Nokia, you losers.
Yeah, Phil Spencer has done a lot to turn around the Xbox brand. And like I said, the actual, like, sitting down and playing the console is great. The controller's really good once you get used to the fucking bumpers.
Why are the bumpers so weird?
They're not that weird. It's just they don't connect in the center anymore. So, like, it used to be you could push anywhere on the bumper and it would engage. And I have long index fingers, so I would push kind of close to the center. Well, now the center is where they're propped up and they engage on the right, if that makes sense. So if you try to click them near the center of the controller, they don't go down. You're just pushing against hard plastic. So you just have to get in the habit, of not putting your fingers far up, which is probably how you're supposed to hold the controller anyway. It's just I had years of muscle memory of playing Halo my way, and then when I switched to the Xbox One controller, I was like, wow, what the hell? This is all wonky.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a modded controller or some kind of option to,
Well, I'm sure there is.
facilitate that feeling again. But one of the things I find crazy is that like the triggers have vibrations in them.
Yes,
Played a driving game. Yeah, I played the driving game. I don't remember which driving game it was, but I was in GameStop and I just was like, okay, Xbox One, let's see what you can do. And like I was braking and my brake finger started vibrating because I was like skidding down the road. It was pretty cool. Like I was like, huh, that's interesting. Like it's something small, but it's really cool, And then on top of that, hopefully I'll be able to, being the only sports player on this podcast.
You can feel that pitch hit the sweet spot with them triggers. When you hit that ball, it basically just hits the ball with your controller. Like if you want to shoot a gun, you're gonna feel that feedback. Oh wait, sorry, I'm also just spinning stuff from like 2014 Z3. My bad.
What?
I don't know. I think we just witnessed someone lose their mind very briefly.
Yeah. No, these are things
insanity
I want.
is real.
These are things I want from it. Like when they talked about the force feedback, like triggers and stuff. Like I was hoping for a real kick in the hands.
No, it's very subtle, but it feels nice. I don't know. I do like the controller a lot. Like I said, now that I'm used to the bumper, and just like I don't know, the console itself is just a nice piece of kit. You get on it, it's very clicky. It all works really well. It's got the same features the PS4, where you can just bust out of the game at any time, which I love that the new consoles did that. That's so handy. And it has plenty of exclusives coming up, so maybe we should talk about some more of these. I know you said meh Halo, but Halo 5's looking pretty good.
Hell yeah. I don't even like Halo. I don't want to play that game.
And the multiplayer is really
I'm not saying that I'm not interested in playing it. It's just, I don't know. I've played a crap load of Halo, you know what I mean? And I'm sure that there's millions of people out there like, you haven't even scratched a fraction of the corner of the eyelash of Halo. And I'm like, okay.
Do you even fine. Halo, bro?
Do you even, bro?
Do you even?
I think Halo's a pretty cool guy.
I always wonder why they didn't name it like after Master Chief. They named it after like the tertiary thing that you were going after.
Yeah, Colin. If Colin were on the show, he could tell you that whole story because Colin knows like all the behind the scenes backstory of how Halo was made.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Colin's a huge, like the biggest Halo fan I've ever met. Yeah, Colin's read the books.
Colin is the books.
Colin books.
But
books Colin.
Well, Dylan, if you pick that one up, we'll definitely have to play some co-op because it's online only.
I'd be down.
What a bunch of bullshit.
See, that's the thing. Like I already pay for one subscription. Like I don't know. Part of me has this amazing computer rig that I love to death, and one of the biggest things about not being hesitant for pulling the trigger on this whole thing is, one, it's not even out yet. Technically, the bundle isn't yet. It will be out the day of the release of this podcast. But two, I just, you guys already talked about it, just about how you have to have Xbox Live to even play and all that crap. Like I was like,
well, to play online,
right? And that makes sense. That's fine. But like somebody, the DRM thing and all that, and I just like that was so. I'm so glad they got rid of that because that would have made me very angry Asian.
Super angry Asian face
for real.
We've also got here the rise of the planet of the Tomb Raider of the Apes of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is coming out this fall.
Lara Croft visits the temple and goes on a mission.
And goes apeshit.
And you have Scalebound too. That looks like it'll be good.
Yeah, just tell us a little bit about that, Jordan.
I don't know a whole bunch about it, but it has dragons, and I like dragons.
It's a platinum game.
Yeah, so it's got to be good.
Yeah, you know what you're getting, pretty much.
Is it the one that's set like in not military time? That's
military time.
Yeah.
It's just like other games, but
set military time.
it's in military time.
Is it Scalebound, the one where you're like in a society that has fallen, and you're like hunting dinosaurs and stuff?
That's a PS4 game.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. That's who are the guys that made Killzone?
Oh yes, you're right. That you are correct. I'm getting the two confused.
Gorilla?
I don't know, but that's what I was thinking Scalebound was. But now I'm watching this
Gorilla
video
game.
on Scalebound. Also looks badass. That looks sweet.
What is it? I mean, it's a platinum game, so it's got to be an action hack and slash, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing a guy with what looks to be like a pet huge dragon fighting another giant type of dragon.
Soul.
And he is throwing mines on a dragon and shooting them with an arrow, and the other dragon is attacking him, and he just turned into something that looks like half dragon. This play-by-play is getting very, very weird because what I'm looking at is very, very weird.
This looks cool. It looks like you have a dragon sidekick who wreaks havoc on your behalf. What is it?
Does he see no things before they happen?
What is it with video games? We have all these fantasy franchises like all over the place, and some of them that even say dragon in their name, and you almost never see actual dragons in games. They're always like wyverns, or they're always like smaller and they have some name for it.
Isn't a wyvern a subclass of dragon?
I don't know. It's dragon-esque.
That's like saying like a big, like a Gila monster. That's a lizard, right? Like,
yeah.
And then saying like a gecko. That's a lizard as well. So I think like dragon is a generalization, while wyvern is a type of dragon.
Okay. Well, you don't see enough proper dragons in video games relative to how many fantasy games there are. I like the big, large wings, fire-breathing, Smog from The Hobbit.
Which, well, that'd be sweet. But can you imagine how game-breaking that would be? Like, if you had to fight that? Like, how do you do that?
You just trick him with a riddle.
Yeah, and then shoot the hole that somebody made like 100 years ago.
Yeah, easy. We also got Sea of Thieves, which I don't think we know enough about to really say one way or another. It's Rare's new game. It's pirates, so that's an instant plus. Ashen, again, like there's so many of these games on the horizon for the Xbox One. They've announced tons of exclusives, but it's all stuff that seems like it's way off in the distance. Unless you're into Gears of War, we saw quite a bit of that, but sounds like that's probably not a system seller for you, Dylan.
Yeah.
I mean, there might be like, I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know how they'll do with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. I remember back in the day on the original Xbox, I used to play a lot of Tony Hawk. Rock Band 4 might be one. We'll see. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to come onto the PS4 as well, so I might just put it on there instead. Guitar Hero Live, again, might also come out for the PlayStation 4, so I'm pretty sure I'll get it there.
Oh, yeah, you and the music game is going to go hand in hand. Too bad you live, like, what, 1,000 miles away or something, shit like that?
At least.
Fable
Just come over
Legends.
for a weekend.
Below, that's one that a lot of people have talked a lot about that doesn't seem to have a release date still, which is really weird because that's one we've been hearing about for well over a year.
74.9 miles.
That's a long way.
That is just from my town to your town, your little Snohomish, right?
Yes.
Yeah, from Rolla to Snohomish is 2,074.9 miles.
Oh, that's just
So
a quick drive.
It's a 30-hour drive.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So 2 solid days.
Yep, 2 solid days of driving. I don't know if I could do that. I love driving. I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, like if you came out for a week, you'd only be here for 2 days.
Yeah.
So I guess,
sleeping.
Dylan, like on this question is like, what are you going to get instead if you don't get an Xbox One?
I'll just leave it be, and I'll just try to, think about what to invest in terms of PC releases. I know, kick a dead horse. I'm going to be getting Tom Clancy's The Division. I'm definitely chomping at the bit for that. I believe it was announced like March, right?
Well, so the thing is, like,
that works out.
That sounds like you're going to be using that Xbox only for the exclusives.
Yeah, exactly, and that's something that again has been somewhat of a reason to hesitate when pulling this trigger. Is I'm not.
It sounds to me like you should wait for a price drop because really, if it's one game, like I bought my Xbox to be the Halo player, and I knew going in that that's 90% of what I was going to play on it. But I'm not just going to get one Halo game on it. You know what I mean?
Right? Just have your Halo box.
I already have the Master Chief Collection, so I've already got 100 hours out of that. I've got Halo 5, and I'm sure Halo 6 will be on that console as well, and whatever spin-offs they do. Forza, they don't release those games very often. I guess we might get one more in this console gen, and that's probably going to be it.
They release it more than they do Gran Turismo.
Yeah, well, that's not saying much. So, I don't know. That's kind of my take on it, but
I can't make this decision for you, Dylan.
All right, and that's why I don't know. Now that you guys have brought up the fact that I should wait for a price drop, I would probably agree with you. We do have a lot of pretty big releases coming up in the near future, and so I'll probably opt to try to put more time and focus my efforts on those, because I know that I'll want to play a lot of Forza, and that'll be about it. I mean, sad as that is to say.
yeah, I mean, and whatever indie games you get the itch for, but you don't seem like you're a huge Tomb Raider fan. And
No.
even if you decide you really want to play that, it's going to come out on the PS4 in a year.
Exactly.
So,
And those, like I said, like you were saying, I mean, all the games that I would want to get just to play, I would rather get on the PC anyway. I mean, my PC is a good enough machine to be able to handle everything else that a console cannot even dream of doing. So why not get it on the PC and make it look better, you know?
is Tomb Raider delayed on the PC as well? Do you guys know?
I didn't think so.
No, may import to. I don't care. Not a big Tomb Raider fan, so.
The last Tomb Raider was pretty damn good.
That was the way you could make her die.
The way you could die is amazing.
It's only $20 right now too on Steam. Not too bad. Yeah, like you could make her die terribly. The one that he hasn't played yet.
Oh, I thought you meant Rise of the Tomb Raider. I was like,
Just
I'm going to pre-order
Tomb
that
Raider.
then.
It's the $20 one. Rise of the Fies? No.
Here you go,
Rise.
Dylan. Project Cars, 40% off.
I already own it.
Oh, that's right. We talked about this.
Assetto Corsa.
Yeah, don't get Assetto Corsa unless you have a wheel.
That's what I hear.
That's a bad time on a controller.
So Dylan, I know this guy, and we can probably go to his house and we can steal his wheel. I'm just saying.
Last time I did that, I got in a lot of trouble. You may, by all means, go ahead and do it your own.
You stole somebody's force feedback wheel?
I just stole something, period.
Yeah, but this guy, he's kind of a pushover. He'll just let it happen.
It sounds like a pretty good idea. I hate to be that guy.
We'll be right over, Rob.
Wait a minute.
Good come up with that, man. Good job. Yeah, that's great. We'll get Rob to help. He'll give us the keys to the front door.
I'll get you guys in.
Best thief ever.
Wow, this house looks really familiar, you guys.
Don't worry about it.
Seriously, I swear I've been here.
Your wife comes out. What are you doing?
What the fuck?
Are you cheating on me?
What's my wife doing in that house?
Dylan sent me, he's like, hey, what time are we recording tonight? And I was like, oh, this time. And he's like, Roger. I'm like, Roger? Who's Roger? You cheating on me?
Yeah, there's a pretty good joke on Reddit the other day. It was this guy's sleeping with his wife, with his best friend's wife, and the guy calls. So when she picks up the phone, he like jumps out of bed and starts getting dressed, and she hangs up the phone. She's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. He said he's out drinking with you."
Nice.
All right. Well, Dylan, you still sound non-committal, but hopefully we've at least given.
My biggest thing is that I'm also impulsive on this kind of stuff. I have been since before Project Cars looking for a game like Forza, and I can't find one. Hopefully, dear listener, if you do have any recommendations that can tide me over until I do get a price drop or just succumb to the whimsical fancies of a stupid person, let me know. I'm definitely interested in the biggest thing being like the aftermarket parts and the options to customize, like putting on turbos in a Jeep that can beat Ferraris and Lamborghinis off the line. Like, I love that. Who would have thought that a Jeep Grand Cherokee can beat a Ferrari or a Lamborghini off the line? I didn't even know it till I did it. I was sitting there, I was like, oh great, this is going to suck, and I just, great. But yeah, if you have any recommendations, hopefully just shoot them our way, and I can hopefully maybe tide myself over. I'm definitely looking forward to a lot of the upcoming releases, though, so weed through a bunch.
I'm on Amazon right now. The Gears of War bundle. I don't know why this one's so much cheaper, but that's $349, which you're still in at $400 after you buy Forza on top of that, but you also have Gears of War.
That's just the price of the Xbox One now, man.
What do you mean?
Well, no, 400 with the one I'm getting would be the Xbox One and Forza and a 1 terabyte hard drive.
Correct.
Yeah, the new Xbox price point is $349. So there's no like.
Oh, we're talking about bundles, though.
Yeah, the bundles are the same price. They don't. Like,
no, they're not.
They're too.
No, I'm looking at it. The Forza bundle's $399.
Really? That's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, if it was $349, I'd say go for it.
I mean, same difference though. You're going to pay that much. Might as well pay it and get 2 games.
That's what I'm thinking. Of course, you have a smaller hard drive.
Oh, so that's the Gears of War one is not the 1 terabyte.
Correct.
And,
Yeah.
Although,
And so I want a 1 terabyte, being the nerd that I am.
but if you're not going to play that many games on it, do you really need a 1 terabyte?
Well, that's, I don't know. That's, again, my 1 terabyte on my PlayStation 4 is getting kind of full. So that is a concern, too.
that's a lot of
there's
space you're using.
Well, every single save file, you get some of the games save like settings and videos. I was playing NBA 2K15 and it started saving every single alley-oop and dunk I had done. And I was going through and clearing some games and I was like, why do I have like 3 gigabytes of video saved in this game and I haven't even done any capturing? Like, I don't even understand what's going on. And I went in there and there's like not literally millions, but a ton of freaking dunks and alley-oops. I'm like, are you freaking serious?
Just saved it all.
Saving
Jeez.
Every single dunk and alley-oop that I've done. Oh my gosh. And so I sat there and I clicked on select all delete and it took like a good 2 minutes for it to just sitting there looping the little circle and just sitting there waiting like, did I break my PS4? Did my PS4 just have a seizure? What's going on? And finally it just said, okay, I'm done now. It's like, well, hey, thanks. I'm glad you made it back to the conversation. I now have no idea what the topic was, so let's just go to the next thing.
Nice.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting that this Microsoft Xbox One 1 terabyte, including Forza Motorsport 6, already has full reviews at 5 stars. It's not even technically out yet.
Yeah, people do that all the time.
That is so dumb.
I
We're
agree.
stupid.
I also
We're
agree
dumb.
about that.
We're stupid. Some, not all.
But not our listeners. Our listeners are
No.
awesome.
Cereal.
And on that note,
Quantum Break isn't coming out until April, though, like you guys said. I don't know, man. There's a lot of releases, but again, I don't know.
You're going to buy it. I've been right where you are. As soon as I make it to that point, it's almost like I'm at the edge of the teeter-totter. It's about to go down.
it
Yeah.
makes me sad.
All right. Well, I guess we'll find out next week if you end up going for it. That'll be kind of fun.
Indeed.
And as for you, listener, if you need to find us, you can email us at gameoutloudpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Twitter at gameoutloudcast. We are on iTunes as well, so please remember to subscribe, rate, and review. Thank you to the people who've been doing that. If you haven't, please just
Thank you.
go on, give a nice, honest rating. It helps us out, and it gives us good feedback. And, of course, we can always be found on www.bagofgames.com/podcast and geekcultureradio.com. Definitely go to that site, check it out, check out the other shows. There's lots of great stuff on there. And with that, we will see you next week.